It was an amazing time when you and I were talking in front, actually on the stage. And there were so many people, and the music was so loud. And I said to you, how do you actually interview somebody? Remember? It was like, and I have that piece of that interview. And I want to thank you so much for being so kind.
Oh, you're
Thank
welcome.
you so much.
I'm honored to celebrate this,
Thank
to
you.
be around you. Al's telling you to straighten your tie. There you go. Dapper,
Thank you.
dapper
I
matters.
want to thank everybody here in this room.
Lou
You
and
love
Al.
me. You really love me. No, I'm kidding. But I am definitely involved in the Legends of Vinyl organization as the legacy keepers. And it's my responsibility to a certain extent because I am so, I had so much fun for 51 years. And I want to say thank you. Okay, I had a wonderful life, and I want to say thank you to my peers, to the engineers, to the producers, to the radio personalities, to the artists especially, because in the beginning it was such a wonderful marriage, let's call it, between the artist, the recording artist, and the DJs, the club DJs.
Yes.
And I, as a pioneer, starting in the late '60s, I we sold more records than any radio station. Really, we did, because we presented the music in such a way that people the next day went straight to the record store and purchased the record. It says the song goes like this, la la, and they sold it. So all of a sudden, because not that I'm knocking the radio stations in any way, shape, or form, God, but the radio stations are very limited,
Right.
and they play commercials. We don't. We have two versions of Patty Brooks After Dark,
Yes.
let's say. And we don't play it from the beginning. We start that record from the middle, from whatever we want to, and we change it and we make it exciting. The audience love it. So that's one of the reasons why we had an incredible, 50 years, 40 years now since the disco era. And I saw it, I'm part of the birth, the inception of the disco movement, the disco dance culture as we saw it. And that's why I created Legends of Vinyl, because I stand in a corner and I watch all of these people embrace, hugging, kissing, crying because they haven't seen each other for so many years. And that's my pleasure. That's why I do what I do, and I will continue to do it as long as I can possibly can.
It was lovely tonight. One of the things that Miss Stanley shared with me is that she said it was like a sorority for her because sometimes they would get to tour together. And they would just get to celebrate moments together. They're away from their family, but yet they would go city to city, and there's a bond. And when they walk in the door, they're just truly happy to see one another.
Time is irrelevant. It was yesterday and today.
Yes.
And that love, because there is something called passion for what we do. And we share that. We may disagree about many things, but one thing that we don't disagree is what we do, the love for music. What we do is priceless. So yes, it's true, and I'm, like I say, I'm happy.
For you, what was that moment that you knew that you had arrived in your craft, where you said at the threshold, one day you were this person, and then the next day something magical happened for you, and you were then a new person?
I was just about 21, 22 years old. It happened to me very early.
Okay.
I'm blessed because of that. As a young person, as a young DJ, I was very charismatic and doing my thing and involved, and I didn't see anything other than the crowd getting dancing and all of that. So I was, and there were producers actually paying attention. So one day, one producer approached me and says, "I'm from Honolulu, Hawaii, and I would like you to come and play at Waikiki." And I says, "What? I don't know. I never traveled." I opened the doors for what you call it, touring DJs. It was unheard of. DJs, nightclub DJs, were never tour. They were just there. But they saw an opportunity for a DJ to actually do what I did and the way I presented it. And then from then on, I toured for, I would say, about almost 20 years across the world, and I did what I did with the same enthusiasm, with the same love, and it was magnificent. You know, it was the beginning of the disco era when Philadelphia was bringing all of these incredible songs, and we have them in the audience today.
Yes, I walked out there. You're not kidding. There are legends here
And
tonight.
we have Phil Hurt. Phil Hurt. I mean, this guy writes incredible songs like for the Spinners and Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, and himself is a recording artist. So yes, we have royalty, including Miss Patty Brooks and Pamela Stanley, and so Pamela Stanley obviously came a little later, but she has paid her dues in this industry. And so we have double exposure here today. Now I'm including the 80s. It's important for us to pay attention to the 80s because, the 80s is like the next generation kind of thing, where they really were schooled by the real, disco people,
Yes.
when the lyrics were still matter,
Yes.
when the instrumentals was really still matter, when everything, the performances and everything matter. So they carry on into that kind of tradition. So I'm happy to announce, and I will announce it, that we are headed into the 80s, and we have a company B, we have Shannon, we have obviously Ray is outside, a young lady, who. But all of this is happening right now. It's so sad what's going on right now. We missed 1 year, but I said to the board, and I said, guys, we have to go back.
Yes.
And I know we're dealing with something so serious as what we are going through. But we need to get back on the road. So it's my responsibility now to bring all of these people out there, and we're going on the road. We're definitely going to make it happen.
That's exciting.
So that's what I'm doing, and I thank you so much for that.
Thank you so
very
much. And we're gonna have a really great time tonight.
Please.
I know. How are your dance moves? Are you always just behind the turntables? I mean, can you
Feet are hurting
dance?
me.
Really?
They're killing me.
All right, well, take those off. I mean, I don't know. I'm
No,
ready for
I'm
a
telling
good
you
old
one
fashioned,
thing.
like, okay.
It's all good. I mean, we're going to have a good time. Everybody's going to have a good time. It's going to be a shorter show than years ago because some people have not been able to make it. The COVID situation is so serious, and then there's, that's what. But we're still going to
We're
do.
going to celebrate them.
We're going to celebrate.
Whether
it.
they're
Thank you
in
so
the
much.
house or anywhere around the world, we still celebrate you. We're keeping it alive. The legends of
Vinyl, and
bum
remember,
bum bum.
LOV
I
is the
know.
message.
So full of love. We are so full of love. Thank you. Been visiting backstage tonight. What an honor it has been for us to be here. Thank you very much. And please follow everybody's social, and we want to hear from you, right? You want to hear from everybody. Pick your favorite song.
Absolutely.
Follow them on Facebook.
They can actually go to legendsofvinyl.com/visual radio, and we have a radio for you to listen to. And we have entertainment all day long. All the bestest jockeys performing live for you. So tune us in.
Yeah, don't miss it. Be well.